Hello. Oh, wait a minute. We got to do the video. No hello.
9397 Network and Hot 9397 presents Sapphire'S Soup du Jour with Just Bob.
Screw all that. Good morning. Oh, so you don't hear the live any cockle-doo unless I play that live here. Oh, I gotta close the door. Girl. Thank God for intro songs. Woo, bitch. I mean, I can say that. Okay. And we're not on the air yet, so. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, it's Monday. Is it Monday? Yes, it's Monday. Yesterday felt like a Saturday. It's freaking April 25th and I'm wearing sweaters. Some bold beep. Everybody wants to find the best weed. We found the worst in the world. Okay, this is some bullshit. Oh, good Lord. Oh, happy Monday morning. What's so good about it? Well, we're alive. That's a good start. It is a beautiful Monday, April 25th. You see how unconvincing I sound? I'm wearing a sweater on April 25th. All right. So I'm not in the best of moods. Good morning, everybody. You are joining us on Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. Happy Monday. Did you survive the weekend in America? Hell, we got a lot going on. France just had an election. I wonder if it was rigged. We found, everybody's always looking. We got a lot to talk about today, but we're not even in a big hurry to get there. We got to say hello after the weekend. This song is over with. We're done with this song. So, barely. I can hear the music in the headphones. I brought my little headphones I'm supposed to be wearing, so I can hear what you're hearing on the 9397 Network app. And we thank you for listening on this beautiful Monday. Good to be alive. Survived the weekend. Just Bob will be joining us in a little bit. I'm taking my headphones off. Everybody wants to find the best weed. Well, we found the worst weed in the whole entire world. We didn't smoke it. We didn't buy any of it, but we found where you don't want to get it from. We'll be talking about that later on today. Today, there's two things. Today's show is going to be two things: irony and the funny irony, where it's not funny, ha ha. It's just like the Alanis Morissette song, the irony of things. The Bengals are on. That means I loaded up the proper day. Today is Monday. I looked on my calendar to make sure, because when your life is right, you don't know what day it is. Humans are the only ones who go by the construct of time for everything, down to, time to go to the bathroom. Well, that's just nature calling. You just have to let people know around you that you're about to blow the bathroom out. That's your personal choice. In a nation where we love to sue, we're going to be talking about peculiar lawsuit. We've got irony. We got knives recalled due to a cut hazard. We, right. So all these things today, but we start with, we're going to not only talk about the irony of the world and how we don't really pay attention, how oblivious we really are to things. So that's going to be coming up later. But we're going to go back in time today. You know, the good old days. We talk about the good old days. And no matter how old you are, the good old days represent your best time, right? Because people look back like our grandparents. I'm 53 years old. My grandparents, 90 plus, the one that's left living, right? They're all old. And it's okay. It's a luxury not all of us get. They say, oh, the good old days. But then we look back at the good old days like that. If you look back, like for me, I go, for me, my good old days would be my youth. When I was a kid, I remember what seemed so simple for me. I didn't know we were piss poor. I had no idea. My parents spent all their money on us and booze. Oh, yeah, we didn't go without beer. Well, the kids went without beer for what most. We had beer in the house all the time. Dad had beer, whiskey. Wasn't a weed smoker. It was illegal, and he didn't break the law, really. He worked hard, and that was what you did. You played hard. And all good and fine, but we always thought we were wealthy, right? Our good old days for me, I have to go back to when my sister was still alive. She died at 30 years old. The good old days for me was playing in the puddles after the rain, not knowing malaria lurked about. We didn't care. We picked dandelions and gave them to our parents to show appreciation, even though we didn't know it. We just went, oh, look at this. I want to give it to my mom. If you gave flowers to your dad in 1974, they go, what are you, gay? Oh, jeez. What a mess. So, today we go back in time. What was your best time? Yesterday, for instance, I love my music. I learned how to play guitar at 7 years old and never an accomplished guitar player, but pretty good drummer, pretty good bass player, right? I like the rhythm section, the bottom end. Except for I'm not a top end, so how does that work? But anyway, we're not going to combine our music and our sex, even though sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I say no to drugs. Well, for what most? Back on my heart pills, though, that's a whole other story, but I got to tell you that one later. Yesterday, so funny. You go back in time and you think about the good old days. We were sitting there yesterday after 30 years. I bring my bass guitar, my amp, my little amp, my backstage amp. It's a practice amp. It's only, it's 2 feet tall, 1 foot, 2 feet wide, 3 feet tall, something like that. Just a small amp, but plenty loud to keep up with the drums and guitar. As they found out yesterday, no better feeling in the world than getting there in the afternoon when you pull in your equipment. You're pulling it out of the car. Nobody's ever seen your equipment before. You know what I mean, guys? There's a little bit of nervousness there. Not that equipment, though, you freak. So I pull out my little amp, and they're just like, are you sure, girl, that's going to keep up with all the big boys? And I go, yeah, it'll be fine. And it was, yeah. But 30 years, I had not seen our guitar player. I didn't even recognize him. Like, I get in the house and I saw our drummer, and I go, hey, Mark, good to see you again. And I had seen him recently, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I met his niece, who was a very fine lady and very hospitable. It was such a good time. And we get the beers out. We start drinking our beer, and we go down and play music. I didn't even know Bill, the guitar player, was there. I go, so where's Bill? They go, you just said hi to him. He's sitting on the couch here. I didn't recognize him. It had been 30 years, and I had no idea. It blew me away that I knew somebody that I didn't know. And it was cute because now, me being transgender, He knew me before. He says, "Nice to meet you." And I started laughing. I said, "You know me, silly." But it was it was funny though. But it took me back in time, and it was like it felt good, and we do that. But what's your best days? For me, raising my kids, now that my kids are grown and stuff, the best days are gone, but I'm still enjoying my life. For me, it's a very selfish time in my life. I'm 53 years old. My kids are grown and gone. I do what I want. And I mean, it's a selfish time. However, I miss my family, right? So you want to see people, At least that's the way you should want it. You should want it that way. It's a sad thing if you don't want to be around your family or friends from the past. And believe me, as a transgender person, I've said goodbye to plenty of people, family and friends, that can't get in line with hateful situations and hateful statements and being a dingbat. Mm-hmm. So we go back in time, and I think, to me, okay, if I'm 53, that would make the early 80s my wheelhouse. Scary time, but fun time, right? And me being a young teenager in the mid 80s, I graduated from high school. Well, it was supposed to be 1986, but that was a rough year for a know it all teenager. So it was 87 when I was humbly able to tuck my tail between my legs, come back home, admit I don't know as much as I thought I did, and get my high school diploma, which was a major accomplishment in my life that I had no idea at the time meant so much, until I got older and realized that set the tone for me to understand what it feels like to accomplish something. Because, as I had said before, I stood in line at graduation with my cap and gown on while they're calling the names. And when they called the name before me, it started in PA, whatever, Pappas, I think, PAPPAS, and then PATES was next, my last name. I didn't know if they were calling me or not. So when I got that diploma, it was relief more than accomplishment. Then as I got older, I realized that gave me the ability in my mind to accomplish things when I put my mind to it and believe that I can do it. If not me, who? If not now, when? Why not me? I mean, that's the way I look at things now. Back then, I didn't. So it was a huge accomplishment, right? Back 86, 87, actually. So my olden days are obviously different than if you're 75 listening to this show. You're going, girl, olden days, you don't know, you weren't even born. You weren't even dripping down your daddy's nutsack yet. Can you say that? Yes, nutsack's not a bad word. Dripping's not a bad word. But when you say dripping nutsack, it does sound kind of bad. So if you're eating a Pop-Tart, sorry, why are you eating when you're listening to this show? This show doesn't ruin your appetite? Just because it's called Soup du Jour doesn't mean well, yeah, it is actually about a lot of food. We talk a lot of food on this show, and we're going to be talking more eventually. I got to step up my game. The afternoon people get Taco Wednesday. They're trying to name it something different because they don't think Taco Wednesday rhymes. Taco rhymes with everything, just like black goes with everything. Put on a pair of blue jeans, and you can wear almost anything. Put on a black shirt, it goes with anything. Put on black pants, it goes with anything. Black shoes goes with anything. Tacos, same way. Taco Tuesday, Taco Wednesday, Taco Week, Taco Month. It's all good. We love tacos. And I'm excited for Detroit Taco Company for our live broadcast. Oh, it's going to be amazing. 3 shows, 1 place with a dunk tank, a taco truck, shot girls, twister, and a twist off. And a twist off is going to be, the twist from Chubby Checker, and you're going to do the twist. And the winner wins a stupid t-shirt or something, nothing worth, like, I wouldn't go practice for 3 months or May, June, 2.5 months, whatever it is. I wouldn't go. You can if you want, but the prize will be disappointing if that's the case. It's all about fun, man. That's what it's about. Oh Lord. So back in the old days, the good old days, that's what we're talking about today, getting back to our youth. You know why? It reminds us why we're alive, and it gives us drive and revigoration. You ever go to a good movie or a concert, and when you leave, you just feel a little more, not enlightened, but you're energized a little bit. Like maybe you went somewhere and it provoked thought, or it might have even provoked an emotion. Maybe you cried a little bit, or you laughed and cried. You went to a beautiful play, and they did such a good job that they made you cry during it. They made you laugh during it. Even the predictable ending ended up being something that you got emotional about, whether it was good or bad, right? Because laughing's an emotion. So when you go, oh, I got emotional, people automatically think, oh, why are you crying? No, I was laughing my butt off. I got emotional. But see, everything's emotional has to have a negative connotation. Why are you getting so emotional? Because Whitney Houston told me to. Well, I don't think she just said she got emotional when she thinks of you. Monday morning. If I could go back to, and I'm not talking about if you can go back and do things over. If you could go back at your age with your knowledge, nothing changes other than you go back to a certain time of life, but everything changes with you. So the guys that go, ooh, I'd love to be with my old girlfriend. She used to put things in her mouth. My wife won't. Well, then you go, hey, I'm going back in time so I can be with her. It's not going to work that way. You're going to go back in time in a concept of, if you could go back in time and live now in the way it is, your wife, your kids, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, and everything together in an era of before, where would it be? Would it be the 80s? Would it be the 30s? You can go anywhere. You can go back to the 1860s. A simpler time. Or was it? Because we didn't have telephones. We didn't have capacity to get news from New York to San Francisco right now, right? New York City bore the brunt of the most atrocious event, right? The World Trade Center's being torn down by the terrorism. In 1860, San Francisco didn't hear about that news for weeks, right? Because you had a telegram. There was no way that grandma was calling Aunt Mary, who was calling so-and-so, and I saw it on the news, and it didn't happen. So now our technology is a lot different. So when we go the good old days, we're sacrificing a lot of good new days, but we don't know how to use things properly. We go, social media is the devil. No, it's not. It's us. Guns are dangerous. No, they're not. Guns are not dangerous. If you're watching the broadcast, we're broadcasting live on 93.97 Network right now. I'm holding something just as dangerous as a gun right now in my hand called a pair of scissors. No less well, a little less dangerous, because from a distance I can't hit you as accurately. But it takes moi. I'm not French, but we have a new president. Well, no, they have a newly elected same president. I have a weapon in my hand that I have to use it as a weapon, same as a gun. But in 1862, we didn't have the technology and the things we do now. So if you go back to the good old days, we're obviously proverbially, we're going back in our mind, but we also sacrifice. And then if you're sitting there, like if Abraham Lincoln, 1860 to whenever he was alive, I can't remember when he was born, he wouldn't probably, I would think anybody in that era would love the fact of an automobile, right? I can travel, and the concept was more simple back then. They didn't think, oh my God, I can drive from New York to Paris. Listen to how dumb I sound. I can drive from New York to LA, in 3 days. 2 if I was on cocaine. I don't recommend doing that, by the way, even if it was legal. I just don't recommend it. It's bad for your heart. So you sacrifice whether you go back in time or forward in time. So we might go back. For me personally, I love the old days, but I'm a social butterfly. I love being out and about. So I feel isolated if I can't be around people. Like I feel like I'm missing out and stuff like that. But I also enjoy the solitude of alone time. But I gotta have my social time. I'm just that way. And I don't feel the need to fight it. People go, oh, I gotta get out more. Only if you want to get out more. Or I gotta stay home more. Well, what are you going out? What are you going out so much for? Because I know for me, I have a happy home. I'm not trying to avoid anything. So when I'm going out and about, I'm going, well, I love being home. I miss home when I'm out and about, but when I'm home, I miss being out and about. You got to find a good balance. Well, for me, I need a balance. Maybe it's 50-50. For you, it's maybe different. My partner, she don't need to go out very much, right? Her home time, 80, 90%. Her going out and being a part of the public, 20, 10%, somewhere in there. For me, that's not enough. For others, they want 90% social time and 10% isolation time. I go home and go to bed, and you have to find your comfort level. So getting back to trying to figure out where we're going to be put back in time. Do you want to go back to the 70s, 80s, further back? Maybe you want to go to the future where we don't know what's going on, right? No, just put me in 2070. It's got to be better there. I cannot see that being a possibility. I see, it's the saying, it's always darkest before the dawn. I see darkness ahead of us because of what we are allowing to happen in this world. We're turning the other cheek on what's happening in Ukraine because we know the only real answer and we don't want to do it because it makes everything very uncomfortable realizing that we're going to change our comfortable lifestyle again and go get that son of a beep. Oh, I can say it. That son of a bitch, Vladimir Putin. I have no respect for that person. He deserves no respect. What he's doing deserves no respect. Anybody who supports him is a damn fool. He's a criminal. He's a disgusting, vile human being. Anybody that would lay next to him is a disgusting human being. Anybody that condones what he's doing, anybody that sits silently next to him because you're afraid of him, you're a putz, you're a pussy. Cat. If you sit next to him and you're one of his right-hand men, you might as well be jacking him off because that's all you're good for. Where else can we go with that? I think I made my point. If I could go back in time, I don't even know where I would go. I think I'm happy where I'm at. But you could go back to the beginning of radio. I don't want to. I'm good where I'm at. But if I could go back in time, I'd probably go back about 3 days. Because that was a fun weekend. I'd love to relive it. I'm just kidding. It was the same as any other weekend. I see my friends. I go do what I want to do. If I don't want to do nothing, I don't do anything, and I do nothing at home. Or I might go to the Adam's Apple and hang out and do nothing there. And just wait for something to happen. People watch and make fun of people. No, I get made fun of more than anybody because I'm easy to make fun of. But I put myself out there. Right? So. Oh man. Now it got me thinking about Back to the Future and all that. Like, going back to a simpler time, I think life was easier when it was more difficult, right? When food was more scarce and we hunted, and not for sport, but for food, and we grew gardens, and there was a stay-at-home mother in the traditional, and it doesn't have to be that way now, but a stay-at-home parent. See, that's how you adapt. But the stay-at-home parent, we can blame the inability for one working parent. We can blame that on the system that we've allowed to develop by billionaires running and being called our leaders. We've allowed them to become rich and powerful by going, they're our leader. No, they're freaking not. No, they're bumbling idiots who are puppets on strings who can only do what they're told by us. But when we're bigger dum-dums than they are, we allow whoever to hold the strings except for us. We need to be the puppet master. We, the people. But we are too busy worried about what gender and what bathroom and who gets what and what color I am. And seriously, people, for a country that's a melting pot, that we're all different, we sure are stupid when it comes to things like this. We're still arguing about things that we were arguing about in 1862, 1850, 1840, 1770. What? But we complain and blame America. Oh, I hate America, this, that, and the other. Don't blame America. We were stupid before America was even formed. We go back thousands of years as people. We've always done ourselves disjustice. So don't serve America short. It ain't America's problem. And we're going to prove it, right? How about this? The oblivious, the irony of how stupid we are. A dog park for pets. A person puts on their social media page, is this pet-friendly dog park good for my dog? Can my dog go there? No. Your dog's welcome, but you're not. Please get a dog sitter that has a brain. How do you live? See, now I stabbed myself with a pen. How do you live? How do you remember to breathe? Oh, we got comments. Hold on. I'm sorry. Here we go. If you're not paying attention like I'm not, you don't see the comments. We are. Uh-oh. There we go. Todd says good morning. David says good morning. It was hotter than heck yesterday. Had to turn the air on for a few. Yes, we were up in the Detroit, Michigan area, and it was warm yesterday. Tony checking in, saying good morning. And Kathy checking in, saying good morning. Good morning, everybody. Sorry for slacking on the comments there, but I was running my gums, you know. Oh, geez. And the music's playing. Well, aren't I doing great? Happy Monday. Oh, my God. It just all fell to pieces all at the same time. The 7:20 or 7:29, it was a bad minute for me. Well, we made it through. We always do. Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, always looking out for you. We got our hands on the worst weed in the world for you. Well, we didn't get our hands on it. But we're going to tell you where you want to not get your weed from if you're a weed smoker, and it's legal where you're from. It's still uncomfortable for me talking about it like it's no big deal. But I force myself to, because it's no big deal. It's legal. It's just no different than talking about beer. There's nothing wrong with going, man, when I get off of work today, I'm going to go have me a couple of adult beverages, and I'm going to relax and blah, blah, blah. Well, now people can say, when I get home, I'm going to smoke a blunt, and I'm going to eat me some Medibles. What's the difference between that and a shot and a beer? It just sounds funnier. It just sounds different because we're not used to it yet. But we'll get there. We will get there. There's a lot of good and bad with everything. People go, well, smoking ain't good for you, but neither is drinking. You ever ask your liver, how's that beer taste? We don't want to know. The irony is another topic today, and we kind of got it started with a couple of things, but when we start really looking, you know, when you're driving down the road, you bought your first white car, and you see white cars everywhere. You start looking for a certain thing, you start seeing them everywhere. It's the same with this. The irony that you people like, it kills me. People will post a picture. Let's say since I was playing my rock and roll yesterday, you're a rock and roll band and you got a gig coming up on Saturday night, right? You got a gig on Saturday, July 3rd, or whatever day it is. Say it's Saturday, July 3rd, and 3 bands, and you list all the bands, and you put what time it starts, how much it is to get in, $2 beers in the red Solo cup, and doors open at 7:30, and you got the address, you got phone numbers, you got email, you got everything for the location, questions, call, sale, tickets in advance, $15, 20 at the door, all that. And you always get that one idiot that goes, "Hey, where's it at, man? What time does it start? Who's playing, man?" What the? You're not welcome. It's $40 for you. And you're not allowed to get anywhere near the stage because we don't want your dumbness to wear off on the bass player. Because they're the ones that are most challenged. They'd play guitar if they could. That's what they say. Then a guitar player picks up a bass and goes, "Oh, wow, dang, this is a little different, Mary." Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Where are we at? Break time? Okay, we'll go to break. It's 7:33 a.m. Eastern Time on a Monday morning, trying to get spring sprung, but Mother Nature's being a biatch. But it's okay. We love her anyway. Why do we love her? Because she's got big boobs. We'll be right back. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. Huh. Oh my goodness, what a day. And I forgot to upload them. I knew I was forgetting something yesterday. I'm sitting around the computer. I'm like, I know I'm forgetting something. And I forgot something. What did I forget? I forgot to upload the Adam's Apple commercial and the other thing I did for this time when I am on the music break is right now, if you're listening on the app, we got Regulate playing from Warren G and Nate Dogg. Yeah. Well, you get to see me fix my ugly face. I had a good time yesterday. Played music for about probably total of 2 hours playing, but we hung out from 1:30 to 4. Then I went to Adam's Apple, had me a drink. Then I went home and had dinner. And then I went to bed at 9. I was watching The Other Guys, the movie. It's a pretty funny movie. Will Ferrell, I like him. People, some do, some don't. I don't care. I don't look at you like you're crazy if you like sophisticated movies. A lot of people go, "You like dumb movies." Like, I like Pet Detective and, stupid stuff like that. But I like good movies too, I guess, but I don't watch much. Oh man, oh man. Back on my heart medication, 2 years, almost 3 years. My doctor just looked at me and said, "Sapphire, you're making a bad mistake. You're making a poor choice. And you need to reconsider." And I looked at him right in the eye and I said, "Okay, I'm going to take my medicine." So I went and filled them. I filled all the prescriptions except for one. I wasn't paying $180 for one prescription, but it was a 90-day supply. But I gotta get a hold of them in a little bit and see if they'll do a 30-day supply. I know it's cheaper probably. I'll probably pay $60 for the 30-day supply, and it's $179 for the 90-day supply. So I'm going to save 33 cents. I know I dig it, but you know what? I don't do that, right? I don't fill my tank with gas. I put $40 in. I just don't. I'm not paying $64 for gas. I'll pay 40, and then I know that a little bit toward the end is a little cheaper. I got the extra 2 cents. All right. I mean, if you don't, I'm sorry. I know it's frivolous. Every 2 cents matters. I get it. I choose where to save my 2 cents. Instead of putting 40, I'll put $39.98. How's that grab you? Save that probably makes them mad too. I'm out there pumping, and I slow it down, and I'll stop at $39.99 or $39.98 and be like, "Oh, good enough." If I run out of gas, I'll be thinking of the 2 cents I didn't spend at the BP. God darn it. I should have put that amount of 2 cents in. If I'd have put the extra 2 cents in every time, I'd have had a quarter tank left. You can look at the glass like it's half full, half empty, or that's piss. All right, we'll be back in a few. I'll put on what time we're coming back.
Welcome to Adam's Apple, your neighborhood LGBT bar serving all your favorite drink. With friendly and knowledgeable bartenders that keep the party going and make sure your needs are met.
It's the cheers of the gay bar. Your bartenders know who's coming in, where they're going to sit, how long they're going to be.
Kick back and enjoy some fresh air on their large enclosed heated patio. Open year-round with music and weekly barbecues. Karaoke every Thursday night where you're the star. And Mexican Fiesta on the last Monday of every month. Located at 18931 West Warren, Detroit, Adam's Apple.
All right. 45 seconds until we go back on the rate video. Loving my coffee. Getting the office early. Uh-oh. My headphones suck. These were $1.99 or something. Baby.
GT Hot 93.97.
Monday. I'm so happy it's Monday.
Happy Monday for everybody out there celebrating a day. Happy something. Sure, somebody will protest it too. We do all that too. We celebrate, we protest, we boycott, we do a bunch of stuff. All right. Self-help segment. We're always trying to help you with something, right? We always brush our teeth, right? We go to the dentist. Got to have good, proper hygiene, right? We take a shower, right? When you think of hygiene, you go, oh, yeah, you don't want to have smelly armpits. The butt crack, the armpit, the elbow's not so bad, right? Inner elbow, but the back of your knee, you know, if you're a bigger girl or guy, you got extra crevices and nooks and crannies you got to get cleaned out, or else you're going to get weird things growing in them and all that. Whoa. Like, oh, look at that. I lifted up my belly and I found a row of cabbage. I'll be damned. We can eat for a week, Mary. We'll make stuffed cabbage. We'll use Lester's toe jam, my cabbage roll. Never mind how we'll get the tomato sauce, okay? We just won't go there. That turned up bad quickly. Let's see where we're at here. We are, listen, there we go. I got a little banner running across the bottom. So, you know, there's a lot of ways to reach us. We always talk about we're not like your regular radio is not what it used to be. This is not your grandma's radio. This isn't even your older brother or sister's radio. Radio's taken on a whole new thing. Mass media is more what it is now. You can watch us on the radio. You can listen to us on the radio. You can listen to us on TV, but you cannot watch us on the radio. I know. The irony. Again, the irony. But everything now is different. Used to be you were stuck listening to whatever was on your local dial, and that was it. And now with satellite radio and all the ones you can pay for and stuff, and then you've got internet radio, and now you can just go anywhere. And so your local dials, now they're going, hey, find us on X and Y, Z, whatever station they're on. They want to push their apps. They want to do all those things. Radio is different than it used to be. But now we're broadcasting live. So I can tell you, call 888-456-2157. 888-456-2157, extension 3. You can call. However, I'm a one-trick pony, right? I direct, I produce everything. I'm the board operator. I'm also the phone screener. And I'm not screening your call on the air because you'll probably cuss, get me in trouble, and then I have to come and Will Smith you. So, if I had a bigger team in the morning, which we're working on, but you know, how big what do you want it to be? Like the regular shows, the regular morning shows where, you know, we talk about big boobies and blonde. Oh, that would be fun, kind of. But that's why. So yeah, you can call 888-456-2157 extension 3, and we encourage you to do so. You'll just have to leave a message for me because I got my phone on silent right now. But it's one of the rules. But also my whole point to this is calling in a radio show is cool, but you can go on social media now. We're on 9397 Network's YouTube, 9397 Network's Facebook, Sapphire'S Soup du Jour's Facebook. You go on there, you might have to go on the video tab, you might find it on the news feed, and you see a live video, and you can chime in and comment real time and see things. So when I say it's not your grandma's radio or your big sister or brother's radio, because things have changed so much. Remember the old song, Video Killed the Radio Star? Remember back in the day when artists go, wait a minute, whoa. You're telling me that I'm going to play this record and record it, and you are going to let it just be played on the radio for free? And I'm supposed to be okay with this? And you're supposed to make me believe that even though the listener can listen for free, they're still going to buy my stuff? That makes no sense. And then one record executive said, it makes no sense, but the American public is so stupid that they'll fall for this hook, line, and sinker. And it worked. We were that stupid that something for free just wasn't good enough. I've got to go buy it. And we've been progressively stupider ever since. But it worked, right? Now, there were the people who would go, not me, girl. I would go buy a cassette tape, sit and listen to my favorite radio station that played my favorite music. And when that song came on, hit record. And guess what? I just saved me some money. And you did. You're darn right. You sure as heck did. But the quality wasn't quite as good. And you didn't have what was the most important. Come on. The most important part of a 1975 to 80 some cassette tape was the cover, the artwork. Inside, you need a microscopic microscope to read the letters, but lo and behold, on that little 6x4 card, they fit every lyric to every song and every single person that they ever came across during the making of that album. In fine print so small, couldn't even comprehend it. No, because they would have the big thing would fold out. So the actual, when you pulled the paper out of the cassette tape from end to end, it was about 18 inches long. and then you'd fold it up and make it a little 4x6 again. That's how that would work. Talk about going back in time. But hygiene, right? Let's go back to it. I don't even know where we went. Hygiene, right? We take care of everything, but we're not taking care of our mental hygiene. We're hot messes. We eat pills for that. I struggled. I'm back on my heart pills. I'm struggling with it. But my doctor looked me in the eye and said, Sapphire, you're making a mistake. I want you to reconsider. And I did, right then and there. I reconsidered. Why go to the doctor if you're not going to take the advice of the doctor? And they're not exactly all knowing. There are times when you go, nope, I'm not doing it. I chose to do that. It'll be 3 years in June, knock on wood, that I didn't take my heart medication. He explained to me that it coincides with, it's like oil in a car. Like, you still need to change the oil to keep it a fine running machine. Well, in order for me to remain the fine running machine that I am, that's right, I need medication to keep my stuff right. It's because it's the way it is. And it is what it is. So, anywho, whatever. Mental hygiene, very, very important. But we're now masking things with pills so that the pharmaceutical companies can become even bigger billionaires. They're selling their soul to the devil. And I know they're going, oh, no, not me. I'm the good one. You're a drug dealer who's selling unnecessary drugs in many cases, and in many more cases, necessary drugs for an unnecessary prolonged amount of time instead of getting people well. And I'll tell you, I have a dear friend of mine. I grew up next door. I look up to her like anybody. I mean, she has no idea because we were younger. And she was always the one that everybody looked up to in the neighborhood because she was successful. She was pretty. She had a lot of charisma. People liked her. And today, years later, I'm 53. She's a little older than me. It's the same charisma. It's the same. The beauty's there, but it's not important. When we get older, we look past beauty and we go, yeah, but listen to what they bring to the table. The pharmacist would hate this lady because she cuts her finger, she puts a concoction of honey and something on it, and no scab or no problems, no pills, no medication over the counter. When you are continually living an unhealthy lifestyle, then they give you pills to make your heart better and your cholesterol go down and on and on. And it's like, but we're continually remedying and masking, but we're not fixing. So when it comes to mental hygiene, we go, I don't have enough time in the day to take care of myself. We don't say that, but actions speak louder than words. I mean, and if your life is nothing but stress, it'll affect your appearance. But it's not because I look at you or someone looks at you and goes, oh, they don't look as good as they used to. Healthy. Right? Even if you clump every single man in the world who's 5'10", 225 pounds. Every one of them. It doesn't matter if one of them's full of muscle and one of them is missing a whole entire leg and extra weight everywhere else, right? Doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. We're talking about 5'10", 225 pound men. Clump them all into one, right? You're going to get different reasons and different levels of health based on the blood work that they do, right? Some people's hearts are bad, cholesterol's good, some are bad, some blood pressure is better than others and everything like that. But there'll be certain common things in many, and there'll be other. The point is, we're all different, but we're all the same, right? A diet, for one, like a healthy diet, we talk about a healthy diet, that doesn't always work for everybody. The same things, right? There's allergies, But sometimes your body, like lactose intolerance and stuff like that, sometimes your body just doesn't take good to things. Most of the time, though, it's a personal thing. I don't want to eat my vegetables. I don't like them. Man, if you haven't had carrots with brown sugar and butter, oh man. Okay, maybe it's not the best for you, but I looked it up. Other than brown sugar, the only thing bad for you in it is the sugar, and it's 100% sugar, right? Isn't it? So no cholesterol, no fat, just high in sugar content, but it's sugar. So I would expect my sugar to be high in sugar content. I don't want no sugar-free sugar. I don't want no fat-free fat. I don't want fat-free bacon grease. All right, I don't know what you're trying to serve me here. Ugh. Fat, that doesn't even sound good. But mental hygiene, right? We're just trying to get through our day. How much time do you think it takes a day for your body? We get memberships to the gym. We go, we spend an hour a day working out or whatever, usually maybe 30 minutes a day or whatever. But if you go to the gym, it's get there, change clothes, work out. If you like to shower naked in front of other men, which is a lot of fun, it's pretty invigorating. Always don't just drop the soap. Like, set it on the ground when you're done using it and then pick it back up when you want it again and set it back down. It's twice the fun, and people look at you crazy. Now, for me, I'm not showering in the ladies' room in front of a bunch of other women. And there's several reasons for that. 2 peaches and a banana have something to do with it. But anywho, that has nothing to do. I'm not trying to mess up your mental hygiene with that visual. Because, I mean, when you talk about them old doors that when you could swing open the top or the bottom, and I'm standing behind it, and you open the top, is a whole different view than when you open the bottom. I'm just saying. Door number 1 or door number 2 changes the entire view. Uh-oh. There we go. Oh my goodness. That's a visual that is worth the price of admission. Anyway, back to your mental health. Now that I've destroyed the image you have. Actually, I don't think it was probably a very good image anyway, but whether you have a specific concern in your life or you're just trying to get through your day a little bit better, take 15 minutes each morning to maintain your mental health. That is something that everyone can benefit from. And the first thing you're going to say is, I don't have time. I don't have time. When I get up, I hit the ground running. My kids are going crazy. I got to get them up for school. I got to get them breakfast. I got to do this, that, and the other thing. And you go, that's right, Mary, you do. And you chose all those activities. So back up a little bit. Let's get back to where you're making out. Your bra's not off yet, but he's lifting up the shirt. He's got his hands underneath there. Now, popping the bra. You haven't laid in bed yet. You still got that choice to make. Now's when you start thinking about that kid, right? Now you start going, as soon as my back hits that bed and my legs go up in the air, I'm going to possibly get pregnant. Do I want this to be the father of my child that I am ready and waiting for to come into the world? If you're not there yet, I know the guys are going, my erection went down thinking of all that. Exactly. I almost tapped the table. That's when you're supposed to think about that. If that makes your boner go down, guess what? Just wrap it back up in the pants, walk out the door, take care of it when you get home. You'll be much happier for it in the end. But no, we decide to have that kid. So now when you sit there and go, but I don't have 15 extra minutes because my kids, I got to get up and do this, that, and the other. Guess what, Mary? Just wake up 15 minutes earlier. But don't tell your kids, right? So don't say I'm waking up at 5:45 instead of 6 because I got to deal with you little rugrats. No, you just do it. And you make time for it. Well, I don't go to bed early enough. Well, go to bed early enough. Yeah, I do know. I had 4 kids. I have 4. They're all still alive, thank goodness. This is the mental equivalent to brushing your teeth so you don't need other work done, right? And there is nothing wrong. Let me point something out because there's still the stigma of counseling and going to see a shrink, as they used to call it, to shrink your head. There's nothing wrong with that. It's called mental hygiene. It's like going to the dentist. It's like going to the doctor. It's like going anywhere. People need their fishing trip to maintain them and maintain their normalcy in life. Or maybe it's a yearly trip to Vegas, or maybe it's your annual trip to Florida in the winter from the north. Or maybe if you're living in Florida, maybe you go, screw that, we're going to Michigan in July because it's cooler there, right? Whatever the thing is, we need mental escapes to recharge. Maybe it's a simple walk in the woods. Maybe it's a day on the beach. Maybe it's a picnic, whatever the hell it is. There's something. So we choose to get pregnant. We choose to have families. These are all things that should bring joy to your life and add to it, not subtract from, and call them road bumps and sacrifices. If you're sitting there going, when my kids get older, I'm going to go live my life. You did it wrong, dude. You did it wrong. Live your life. That's part of it. That's the most important part of it. Live it while you've got it, because you'll be sorry when it's gone. Even when they're good, happy kids, right? So live the life that you want every day. It's not about the final destination. Where you're at right now is where you're at right now. Period. Enjoy it. Even if you're locked up going, yeah, enjoy this, I'm locked up. You did it. Maybe you didn't. But for what most, you did it. Deal with it. And when you get out, you'll be a better person. If not, you'll be a piece of crap and you'll be back there again. Why is my makeup in front of everybody? Get me started, will ya? We haven't even gotten to the worst weed in the world yet, and I'm already fired up. We have knives recalled due to being a cutting hazard. God bless America. Aren't knives made to cut? I mean, what the heck? What in the world? WTH. I don't know about you, but I love my coffee in the morning. I'm hoping it's not bad for me, but I'm sure it is because it's delicious. A little bit today, too, we're going to be talking a little bit about, we talk about the state of the world. We dissected the Will Smith and Chris Rock, but we never really talked about anything other than just the gossip part of it. We're not even going to talk about that, but I'm just talking about our prone to violence and how sometimes it's okay and other times it's not, right? So if it's okay to fight for what you believe in and stand up for what you love, then we can't get mad at the people that stormed the Capitol January 6th because they were standing up for what they believe in. And I know that sounded stupid. It was supposed to. So there are limits to what you can do. And actually slapping the crap out of somebody is against the law. We've got some other stories we're going to talk about that have to do with that, because this is not Chris Rock and this is not Will Smith. Let the poor guy live. A lot of people have done worse than slapping somebody. Poor choice, yeah. Execute his career for it, no. But that's where we're at. Irony. Knives that are recalled due to cutting. A dog park wondering if it's pet friendly or not. You see a listing on a house that tells you the price, the location, the bedrooms, the color of the bathroom tile, everything. There's always that one person, location, price. Hooked on phonics. How about that? Just a recommendation. So April, I sound stressed, but I'm not. I'm relaxed. April is Stress Awareness Month. That's why we're talking mental hygiene. Now, there's this hormone called cortisol. Mental hygiene, if your mental hygiene is good, apparently your body will produce this. I don't know. We're going to find out. I'm reading something. I'm trying to read about what's going on with Stress Awareness Month while we talk about you and I don't even want to call it addiction to pill, but our reliance upon. And I know there's a big difference to me about addiction and reliance upon. Addiction is, I gotta have it. I don't even want it. I gotta have it, right? I must have, even though I know it's bad for me. Maybe you're addicted to alcohol. Maybe you're addicted to drugs. Maybe you're addicted to porn. Maybe you're addicted to sex. Maybe you're addicted to love, like Robert Palmer was in the 80s. Whatever you're addicted to, it's a negative connotation, right? You can't be addicted to something that's good for you, right? I mean, or can you? I don't know. Too much of anything's no good. You can drown in water, but we need water to live. So how could you possibly drown in the source of life? It's pretty deep. Good thing we're not on the worst weed in the world, or that'd have been a deep conversation. How can what you need to live kill you? Well, just ask women. The men in their line drag now. Just kidding. I won't bash the men. So how often do we really practice our mental hygiene? How often do we take 15 minutes out of our morning? Remember, I've said before, proverbial making your bed in the morning. When you're making your bed in the morning, you're more than making your bed. You're setting up your day. You're thinking about what is it I want to accomplish today in my life. Maybe it's not monetary at all. Monetary means money, for those of you who don't know. Maybe it's not about going out and making $300 a day. Maybe it's not about going out and doing anything like that. Maybe it's about, you know what? My friend or my loved one, we've had a falling out. Maybe they said something to me that I couldn't forgive, but I'm ready to forgive. And maybe today's the day I just send a text or reach out with a phone call or an email or whatever and just say, hey, hope life is good. Thinking of you. Let's get together. Something like that. Little things you sitting in the, maybe it's a thing at work that is bugging you and it's making your life at work miserable. Maybe you go, today's the day I deal with that, right? And we're going to nip this in the bud and we're going to make it so that I like going to work again. And then you're setting up your day. And that's when you would do this, right? 15 minutes in the morning and you're going, now I'm ready. Maybe to me, getting up in the morning used to be, I get up too early to do this now, but I still get my me time. Get up, have coffee on the back deck or on the front porch. The birds, the world coming to life for the day, but you're beating the people because we're lazier than the squirrels and the birds. Early bird gets the worm. Who the hell eats worms anyway, man? I mean, remember now, early bird gets the worm, but if you're mice, the second mouse gets the cheese because the first one gets the whoop. So not always best to be first. You open the door, you might get around in the face, or you might go like, oh, well, I should have gone second. So you never know. But 15 minutes in the morning to set up our whole day, right? You start setting up your goals. Hopefully, every morning you wake up, it's not all about money, right? Because if it is, you should check yourself before you wreck yourself. because it'll happen. Because money is not the goal. Money is one of the three, because it's important. Let's not be stupid. We cannot live on bread alone. Got to have some beer. Increased cortisol levels can lead to a number of physical health complications, according to research from 2020, not to show the year. A study from 2016 found that emotional regulation has been shown to improve health resilience in an older age. So, in other words, don't worry, be happy. Easier said than done, but doable. Very doable. Heard that before. We stress about so many things we can't control. We see the world falling apart in front of our eyes. We don't know what to do about it. But it's our fault. And there's nothing we can do about it now except for take back the power. How are we going to do that? We can't. In America, we have a corrupt governmental system now. The system, wait, no. Wait. We have a corrupt government. The people in the government are corrupt. The governmental system, I have no beef with, right? It's the people. We've allowed them the love of money, greed, gluttony. That's the problem. But we want to look at it. No. The problem is that there's transgenders in bathrooms. Well, the problem is what they're teaching our kids. The problem is this, that, and the other. No, we're the problem, right? We are the problem, but we don't want to admit it. There's irony in that alone. And if you start looking at different things, it's everywhere. Irony is good in a lot of ways, but not when it comes to world decisions being made. Ironic that in the American political system, the whole Democratic platform in 2016 was changed, and they placed Hillary Clinton up against Donald Trump, and change won. And then they wanted more change, so they went back to a 47-year vet, Joe Biden. Well, there's irony right there, right? You don't get change from the same old hat. The more things change, the more they stay the same. But the more they stay the same, there's no chance of change. So give me the 35-year-old, know-nothing president over the career politician any day. And I know I'm wrong. I'm okay, but we're wrong no matter what we do when it comes to that. All right, it's break time. We're going to take a little break. You listen to the Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. We'll be right back. All right. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome to Adam's Apple, your neighborhood LGBT bar serving all your favorite drinks. With friendly and knowledgeable bartenders that keep the party going and make sure your needs are met.
It's the cheers of the gay bar. Your bartenders know who's coming in, where they're going to sit, how long they're going to be.
Kick back and enjoy some fresh air on their large enclosed heated patio. Open year-round with music and weekly barbecues. Karaoke every Thursday night where you're the star. And Mexican Fiesta on the last Monday of every month. Located at 18931 West Warren, Detroit, Adam's Apple.
Hmm. Oh, it's Chili Willy. I'm tired of this shit.
You're listening to WHOT Hot 93.97.
Welcome back. You dream to your chicken.
That was our national anthem in the background. Not the Star Spangled Banner, the new one. The gunshots and the girls screaming. The moms in the streets crying because their babies are dead. It's what we do. All right. That's a hell of a way to start the re-entering the segment of mental hygiene. There, yeah, perfect. Oh, and look at this. We have a new character in the mix.
It's a character, all right. Speaking of mental hygiene, good morning.
How are you today, Bob?
I am well, Sapphire. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
Excellent.
Now I've got to get rid of this welcome back song. There. Hopefully we can hear you loud and clear on the broadcast.
I will speak up.
I got you loud there.
But not speak out.
Speak up but not out.
That's right.
You can do either one. We're talking about mental hygiene today, Bob.
Yes.
And how we're supposed to carve out 15 minutes out of our day in the morning to make it all happen. And yes.
I don't know that the morning always works, though. But, I mean, I suppose it's ideal. But
it's important because that's when you're supposed to do it. Because it sets you up for the rest of the day. And yes, you do have 15 minutes, even though we think we don't. And it reduces the stress. We get overwhelmed feeling at times.
Uh-huh. Oh, absolutely.
And sometimes if we just go, now, wait a minute, this 15 minutes you speak of, now that's just another item on my list that I've got a hurdle to get over.
Well, yeah, that's kind of true, too.
But this will make the rest of your life easier. The rest of your day go by better. And according to whoever wrote this statement, I don't know who it was, they say, quote, it's not about I don't have time. You have time for a lot of things. If we really can practice mindfulness throughout the day, then our mental health needs less of our energy and less of our juice.
Yeah, it's all in what you make time for, what you prioritize.
Yes, absolutely. And we are absolutely unfocused on what's really important.
Yeah, more often than not.
I'm more worried about what Rosie O'Donnell has to say, or Chris Rock made a joke, and does Will Smith have right to slap him about it? We're more worried about skin color and gender identity and sexuality and all those things that really don't matter.
Yep.
They really don't matter at all.
No, you're right. But what did Rosie say? Anything in particular?
Who?
Rosie O'Donnell. What did she say in particular? Anything?
Oh, no, not that I know
No.
of.
Oh, you just mentioned her. I just wondered if she was making the news these days. I hadn't heard.
Oh, Roseanne, I meant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not Rosie.
There's a different one, yeah.
Yeah, Roseanne. Yeah. Well, we're worried about all those things. So now, what can we do? Well, there's 4 things that we can do.
Okay.
Now, you got to remember this. If you start the day stressed, right, that's your baseline. You're going to be stressed. That's what you're starting with.
Yep.
When you start with a clear, relaxed mind, you have a calm reference point to return to.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start your day screwed, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you carry it with you longer, whatever it is. The good, the
Mhm.
bad, the ugly, you know.
So this, okay. First of all, I got to find out who's saying all these things. So let me look at this real quick. This is all coming from the study that was done in 2020, done by, I still can't find, Broderick Sawyer, a clinical psychologist in Louisville, Kentucky. So Broderick Sawyer is the one saying these things. So it's all their perspective.
Right.
But
That
they're a
makes
clinical
sense.
thing. They're a clinical specialist or whatever. So
Right. That makes
taking
sense.
time to reset your mental space at the start means that the stressors of the day are not piling on top of an already overwhelming situation.
Got to agree.
So,
It's easier said than done, but again, like anything else, practice makes perfect. You develop the habit over time.
mhm.
And it's easy to get sucked into the drama on any given morning. And we're talking about, like you said, the setting the tone for the day. But
And
with
the
practice
thing
and
is,
time, you know.
we get used to something that becomes our normal.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be able to know what it feels like to be happy.
Yep.
You know, um, you have to practice being happy.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you can choose to be mad and angry, or we can choose to be happy.
Right.
One
Exactly.
thing we got to do: try new activities. Yep. The first step in improving your mental health hygiene is experimenting with different activities.
Very
We're trying
true,
to
I think.
lower our cortisol.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing.
Cortisol's a bad thing in your body. I mean, you need a little of it, I guess. And I guess it's like anything else. When it's out of balance, when you're out of whack, then
Mhm.
it's not good.
Yeah. And so we're talking about how to build our daily practice of good hygiene, mental hygiene. Because we
Uh-huh.
think of bad breath, body odor. How about your mind stinks?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just trying new things is good. It depends. I mean, not everybody can. Not everybody's the same. Trying new things can be very stressful for some too. If you're being put into a new social situation or something like that. So there's other things to consider as well.
Yeah. You have to be at least open to it. It's less stressful, I think, if you're open to things, you know, trying new things. At least your brain is in a place to be receptive instead of pushing back.
Well, this person lost all credibility with me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but we're going to still talk about it.
Yeah.
So they said the things you fill time with can be something you do every day, but made more relaxing, like drinking coffee in the morning slowly with deep breaths, swapping talk radio for music. No, don't do that. That's ridiculous.
Who would say such a thing? Talk radio is way more fun.
I mean, you can listen to any old music.
Yeah. But where are you going to get chitty chat like this?
Oh, you're not. You're not going to find it anywhere else. But even like I said earlier, go for a walk, being outside. I like to sit on my deck and drink my coffee in the morning when I get the chance. I get up too early to do it now, but
Right.
not sitting outside at 3:15 in the morning while the drunkards are still coming home from work or from the bar. Not work. You don't do that, I don't think. But
No.
so trying new activities. Number two, track how it makes you feel. An important part is journaling.
Okay,
We
that's
got to
where
remember how we feel.
I guess to me, that's when it starts to feel more like a chore. Now, not only do I have to try to get my head into the experience, which in itself isn't that difficult, you can certainly do that, but now you got to start writing everything down and looking
I
for
don't know
patterns.
if you have to.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't
you
want to.
you can go about it in a different way though, right? You want to remember. You want to make note of what you did so you can remember it, of how you felt afterward. It doesn't have to be written down necessarily. Make a mental note going, when I did this new activity, it brought me a lot of joy in this way.
I'll take mental notes. I can mental
Notes are fine because you'll remember the important ones.
Yeah. I don't want to have to write it all down with pencil and paper and psychoanalyze it and that. Yeah.
Very true. No, you don't want it to become a chore.
No, that's the whole point of it.
Now, you got to do what's best for you. Some people writing it down is important. Other people like you say, no, now we're getting too far. But it will make you calmer through the day. It might make you more energized. Better handle stress situations. Because you're not on that, like, on edge. You know how people go, I'm sorry, I'm just on edge today. You're not making good decisions because you got other things on your mind.
Right.
That's not good for business partners to hear. If you're my boss and I come to you and go, man, I'm sorry, Bob, I'm just not in it today. My head's not in the game. I got my kid this, my wife that, my partner this, my boyfriend this, my blah, 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 whatever it is. You go, but I need you here. I can't pay you less per hour. I'm paying you this amount of money for a job well done.
Right.
I need you here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mental health is important. But what do we say? Take a pill.
We do say that quite a bit.
The third thing we need to do is pay attention to what we need when we need it. So pay attention to what we need at different times.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing works the same all the time for everybody.
True.
So if you have a work day with a lot of meetings, maybe you need a little more chipper. Maybe you need to be a little more chipper and buoyant. I don't know about all that. Don't be what you're not.
Well, yeah,
but at the same time, you can't be a sourpuss when you're in a meeting. But you can't be always, oh, golly gee, life's great, when it's not. It's okay to be real. But we don't need the Debbie Downer going, oh, my life sucks, so I'm going to make sure you know about it and your life sucks too.
There's also a time and place. Don't be dragging your drama into a meeting just because people are there to listen to you.
We do encourage gossip. We do not encourage drama. You can take the drama outside, but we will keep the gossip in here. Filter through it.
Save the drama for your mama, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got mama jokes?
Mama jokes? So those are some of the funniest ones, though.
Yeah.
Your mama.
Yeah. Your mama's so ugly. What did you stick her face in dough and make gorilla cookies? That was Fred Sanford said that about Aunt Esther.
Aunt Esther.
That's probably offensive in today's world.
Oh, in today's world, totally.
Yeah.
Back when we used to have a bit of a backbone and kind of chuckle at things.
Well, it's funny though because I got that off of their promo for the show. Right, that would be the thing, like, coming up next on Sanford & Son or whatever, and they'd be like, Esther, you're so ugly, you can stick your face in dough and make gorilla cookies. Nowadays, people would be like, no. You can't say that. But it's amazing.
My feelings.
Huh?
Yes. My feelings.
Oh, my feelings are hurt. Someone's going to pay for this.
That's right.
So, yeah. Pay attention to what we need at different times. That goes without saying, but we forget. What about what we need?
Right.
Everything's about what everybody else needs, and then we're spent at the end of the day to take care of number one.
No, you're right about that.
Add through the day is needed. eventually that 15 minutes at the beginning of the morning might not seem like such a chore anymore. In fact, you may start craving some check-ins with your mental state throughout the day. It's like anything.
Yeah.
When you're first learning a new job, you're on the production line and everything's coming by and it's your job to pick out the bad ones and you're going, how do you keep up with all this? I can't keep up with all this. How do you do this? And then a few minutes later, you're starting to get it and you're going,
Right.
oh, now all of a sudden your trainer is not picking them out. You are, and you're only missing a couple.
Sure.
And before you know it, you're like, oh, all right, now I can even talk and do this. And then before you know it, you don't even realize that you're doing the job. You're talking to other people, doing it. It becomes easier as we do it.
Oh yeah.
Same with this. So eventually the 15 minutes won't seem like that much. We'll be going, it's mid-morning. I think my partner keeps farting. They must have had cabbage last night for dinner. I'm getting a little stressed. Let me go back to where I was this morning.
Pre-fart.
Refocus. Get my energy level back to where I want it. My cortisol level is down.
Yep.
And we get better at managing it. We understand where it is we're supposed to be. And I believe that's one of the biggest things right there, Bob. We don't really know what it feels like to be happy. We're just used to feeling this way. So this is our new normal.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we do feel happy, we don't understand it. So we feel guilty. But it's okay to be happy. We're supposed to be happy. That's the point.
Yeah, it's tough living a life where you're never happy. On the other hand, like you say, it's always making time for other people and not yourself, and not being in tune with your own mental affairs. You can do that to a point where you can just kind of not even know yourself anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you want. You don't know what you. I mean, maybe you know what you don't want, but when somebody says, or you'll get into a place, say you're in a job that you don't really like, and somebody will say, well, what would you like to do? What would be the ideal job? And you kind of sit there and you go, I don't even know.
Right.
I just know it's not this.
And we limit ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your ideal job maybe you want to be a rock star, maybe a professional athlete, maybe a lead actor or actress in the leading movies.
Right.
Don't limit yourself. Why not you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm too old. I'm too this, that, or the other. No. Betty White was 99 years old. She could have started any movie she wanted to. Yeah, there was reasons for that, but she could have. She set her life up that way.
True.
We excuse ourselves into mediocrity, right? It's easier to blend in. It's easier to not try than to fail.
Right.
Because if I never tried, I never failed.
Yeah. There's a difference between contentment and laziness.
Yes.
Contentment, you're happy with where you are, whatever that is, and because you're happy with where you are and you don't aspire to do anything else, that doesn't make you lazy. It means maybe you found your happy place, and good for you. We all need to. On the other hand, if you're just sitting around whining about it, well, then the word lazy comes to mind too.
Amen. And complacent and spinning wheels a little bit. Like, what is it? We talk about it a lot.
Mm-hmm. We do it. I do it a lot.
What can we do to get out of the hole? People go, well, I'm married now. I got this job paying me good money. I got benefits but I wanted to be this, that, or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you didn't pick the right partner then, because your partner's supposed to lift you up and work together to say, hey, we're going to make it happen. Let me tell you about this lady we know named Ketanji Brown. She's the new Supreme Court Justice, right?
That's right.
Her mother worked 2 jobs to put the father through law school because he had a vision.
Mm-hmm.
He had a dream that he wanted to follow
for
his family. So a man's success bleeds into the success for the family, for a good man, right?
True.
Who says, I want to do this. So the mother says, I see the vision. it's going to be 10 years of long, grueling hours, and I'm going to miss a lot of family dinners and everything. But in the end, this is going to work out good. Now you have a daughter who's the first black woman to sit on the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
A freaking man. And
True.
I don't care if you endorse her or not endorse her. Nobody is not listening to this show knows enough about her to like or dislike her anyway.
So not the point. It's not the point we're talking about here. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But you have that vision of family, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have these sacrifices that you make so that you can have a better life. No excuses. They could have been like, she could have said, so you want me as a black woman in America in the 60s to go work a full-time job while you stay home and go to college? No. But instead, they debunk the societal expectations of the woman stays home, the man's the breadwinner, and they're black too. So a black woman's going to go find a job. A black man is going to stay and be a stay-at-home father and a student in the 50s and 60s. Unheard of.
Yeah,
Record break.
different times.
Yeah. Easier thing would have been, whoa, Mary, you're just going to continue to work. That dream's for somebody else. And you accept it.
Yeah, true.
So going back to the mental hygiene, we accept the abysmal failure mode. We accept with a good life, there's a lot of pain and misery. No, bull crap. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it all wrong.
Yeah. There is if you let it be that way. I mean, that's...
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. So today, irony. Today, we talked... April is stress relief month or whatever the hell they call it. Just trying to remember all this stuff is stressful.
Yes.
April, let's see, stress awareness month. That's what it is.
We need a specific month for that.
I guess so.
I'm aware of stress every dang day.
I know, right? But we do. Some stress is good for you, though.
Well,
like you don't want a stress-free life, no worry. We're not stupid. There's worry in life,
yeah.
But it's all the unnecessary that we forget about.
Yeah. I mean, worry with a purpose, I suppose, with some kind of a valid, productive end to it is different than worry for the sake of worry or. And even that's easier said than done. I mean, sometimes some people are just their physical makeup, their biochemical makeup takes them to that place much more easily, where they're always stressed and worried and
triggered and worried. Yeah, everything gets to you. There's no way to live.
No, it's hard. But what I'm saying is sometimes it's not something that you necessarily engage in willingly. Sometimes if it's part of your physical body and the way you're made up, then that's something that takes a lot more effort to control. And like you said, it's real easy to say, oh, go pop a pill and chill out, but there's also, like we're talking about, mental ways to work around things and practice calming and like you're talking about the mental hygiene. That's what you said. It's the perfect phrase.
All right, I got a question.
Okay.
You buy a house on the 15th hole of a golf course.
Mm-hmm.
What's the last thing you should get mad about happening?
It smells so obvious, doesn't it? If somebody blows your window out with a golf ball.
Okay.
But I suppose that's not the answer you're looking for. I'm sitting here thinking, well, yeah,
They find their dream home,
mm-hmm.
right? They buy the house for $750,000.
Mm-hmm.
$750,000.
Right.
What was not included in the sale was 700 golf balls that have either broken windows, dented siding, and provided gunshot sounding golf ball hits that has turned their dream home into a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Athena and Eric Tenzar have collected all the golf balls. Okay, this is Karen and the male equivalent to Karen in their rarest, purest form. Athena and Eric Tenzar are dum-dums enough to buy a house on a golf course and bitch about balls hitting their house.
Yeah. I do apologize on behalf of myself and the many stinky golfers that have errant shots that may have hit your window or house. However,
you do not buy a house on a golf course.
Well, that's it.
If you don't want golf balls hitting you.
You put yourself there, so...
You thank you very much. You've got to be kidding me right now. Here's the problem. They sued the country club and won nearly $5 million.
That stinks.
The couple decided to pursue legal action, sued their neighbors at the Indian Pond Country Club for trespass over continual bombardment, according to the reports. Bombardment. When you say continual bombardment, my mind goes to, I don't know, Ukraine.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You bought a house on a golf course, you stupid imbecile. You dumb, no good for nothing dum-dum. And I know that's monotonous. But I am the president, and my office in the Department of Redundancy Department is in Office 302. So they sue the country club for trespassing. In December, a jury granted them $3.5 million for damages and emotional and mental suffering after a 6-day trial. This is $4.9 million with interest, according to the report. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. For the past 4 years, Eric and Athena Tenzar have raised their 3 young daughters in a home that borders the country club's golf course. During this time, their home was regularly attacked by balls from the course's 15th hole. I'm reading this, laughing and going, if I was friends with these two, I'd be like, you two obviously share a Facebook page. You obviously don't have a clue in life, and we're no longer friends because you're not capable of being a responsible adult. They were always on edge. It's been emotionally taxing for them. You live on the 15th hole of a golf course. I want to meet the judge who awarded, well, it's a trial. It was a jury trial. What the heck? Uh-oh, wait a minute. I hear things in my mind and I'm not supposed to hear. There. I'm hearing voices, but it's okay. It's actual voices that I'm supposed to be hearing, but not at this time. So they describe the neighborhood as this is where kids wear bicycle helmets when playing outside because of the golf balls. They splash into the kids' pools. And most recently, a deck railing got knocked out. All right, a golf ball is not going to take out a deck railing if the deck railing is secured by anything more than one rusty nail. You see, when adults and rational people start reading into things, how none of it makes any sense, right? A golf ball knocked out a deck patio. Wow. And this person's playing on an amateur course? Wow. And who's the dum-dum that believes this? When the family bought the house in 2017, they fell in love with it before the golfing season. You see, the responsibility to responsible consumerism turns into I'm a poor victim, I want to sue, and we fall for it. We just gave these dum-dums $4 million, $5 million for being ignorant. Get out of here. So this idiot goes, honestly, this is Athena Tenzar quote. This would be the woman, I believe. Honestly, quote, honestly, if you have all these houses on a golf course, I assumed it was safe. I don't know what to tell you. Please tell me this person doesn't have a college degree. These are the people that vote. These are the people that vote. They vote for people, and they don't even have a clue. You bought a house on a golf course and are suing because golf balls are coming in your yard. You called your house under constant bombardment and attack. You are as absolutely dumb as they get. I'm trying to be nice. I love everybody. You don't have to be smart to be loved, okay? Let's just point that out. And their lawyer, this guy, Bob Galvin, he says they bought what they thought was their dream home and it became a nightmare for them. What did you expect? What? I don't know what happened to just Bob. Just Bob left me. But that's okay. We'll get through it. When I read this story earlier, I decided it was something I had to talk about. I'm like, I got to talk about this. But the more I think about it, this is exactly what plays in to the degradation and the pussification of America.
Yep. Exactly.
The country club has since fixed the course's 15th tee, and now they no longer see golf balls on their property.
Okay, fixed it. It wasn't broken.
Correct. This is what's wrong with the world today. In our country, I can't speak for the world, but this is ridiculous. That is like living on a lake, but you don't like boating.
Mm-hmm.
That's like living on a lake, but you don't want any noise from the boats. I don't want to hear kids out there playing in the water. I want serenity. Well, jackass, you should have bought a house in the woods then.
Mm-hmm. Just
I know no golfer that's going to look at a house and go, I'm aiming for the kid over there just past the 15th tee.
Well, don't tempt me.
Well, right, after a couple beers. But guess what? They can't hit what they're aiming for anyway, or they'd be on the tour.
And then the kid's I'm sure the kid's pretty safe.
Yeah. I see there should be a screening process for lawsuits. And if a lawyer comes in and processes paperwork for a family suing a golf course that they live on, the lawyer's got to go. No more for you. You just wasted all your money in law school because obviously, even though you passed the bar, you cheated or something because you don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
You're out of here.
Yeah. Again, we accommodate crazy way too often.
Crazy is one thing, stupid's another. Mm-hmm. This is not crazy as more as it is stupid. Now, stupidly crazy could be.
Yeah. True. Why we accommodate? It says, I don't know. Are we?
It's a
Crazy,
frivolous
stupid?
lawsuit.
Yeah.
It's a way for the lawyer to make money. It's a way for people to make money. And it's cheaper for the golf course to just go, you know what, pay it. Get done with it. But this is the world we live in today.
Yeah.
Los Angeles, California. All right. They've got a place. It's at 1873 Silver Lake Boulevard in Los Angeles, California. The name of said place is Silver Lake Dog Park. Silver Lake Dog Park. First question on there. Is Silver Lake Dog Park pet friendly? Yeah. But stupid owners are not welcome, so you'll have to drop your dog off at the gate and wait outside.
It's pet friendly, but like anything else, don't bring your pet parakeet or something over asking for trouble. It's a dog park, not a parakeet park.
Why does the sun wear sunglasses?
I don't know.
Protected from itself.
Ah.
The real truth is the water covers 70% of the earth. And water is reflective. So the sun needs sunglasses. All you got to do is read a science book. It's in there.
My.
Why would you like to be flying on an airplane and the flight attendant from Southwest Airline gets on and goes, "This is your flight attendant. Thank you for flying with Southwest Airlines. It was a pleasure having most of you on this flight." Now that's the petty I like right there.
I like that.
Oh, man.
That is funny. Very true, too, I'm sure.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So we got people asking, is the dog park pet friendly? We've got knives being recalled because they're a cutting hazard. How does this happen? There's more to the story, obviously.
Sure.
The headline's cute. Norwex ceramic knives recalled due to laceration hazard. It's the bamboo wood handle, right? These are 10.5-inch blades. And wait, no, 10.5 centimeter. I don't know how big that is or isn't. But the handle can break and you can cut your hand. No injuries have been reported. 91 knives have been broken. No injuries. But you see the headline? The irony of it?
Oh, yeah. They'll write it the way they want you to read it, hear it, and repeat it.
And then you got to film through it. So you got to silk through it. But we won't filter through a lot of times. We read it and go, get all up in arms about it. And then we don't really read it all. And we go, oh, how could it be? I'm making fun of a knife. Of course, a knife is a cutting hazard. But you're supposed to cut what's on the other end of the knife.
Preferably.
All right, we are way past break, but we're going to take one now. When we get back, everybody wants to find the best weed. We on Sapphire'S Soup du Jour found the worst weed in the world, and we're going to bring it to you next. right here on Sapphire'S Soup du Jour. Keep it locked. Wait, one. Oh my God. Woo. Give me 1 minute.
No problem.
1, 2, 3. All right, let's see. We come back at 1. $9.35. $9.35.
All right. Let's see if I can figure out why the computer
All
just
right.
took a
What
dump
do-
like that.
Huh?
I have to see if I can figure out why my computer just took a dump like that. It just
Oh,
we're
yeah. I
talking
noticed
and
you
then
went away.
yeah, all of a sudden it went to a lockdown screen and it went dark and it was just like, come on, really?
Not good. All right, we're back at 9:35. All right, there's that. There's that. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. Back at it. See, now, you know how I feel about things. Before we talk about the worst weed in the world, let's talk about the best sheriff in the world. Well, maybe in the state. We got to go to Florida for a feel-good story. This is a feel-good story for those of you who like to break the law. Well, actually, you won't like it. This is for the people who like law and order. Sheriff Bob Johnson. We need more people to be like Sheriff Bob Johnson. Bob Johnson, the sheriff, says, if someone's breaking into your house, you're more than welcome to shoot them. We have a gun safety class we put on every other Saturday, so you'll shoot a lot better. And hopefully, you'll save the taxpayers some money. I like what I hear.
I do too.
Now, not to say it doesn't come without problems, but when the sheriff is encouraging homeowners to shoot burglars to save taxpayers money, I'm all about it. Because I don't like excess tax, and I don't like burglars. Did you know statistics show that cat burglars will make sure you're not home? Did you know, statistically speaking, if someone breaks into your home while you're there and they know you're there, they're going to kill you? Shoot them! A Milton man, we're in Pace, Florida. A Milton man was arrested Wednesday after a burglary spree. Right? Brandon Harris, 32-year-old jackass, accused of breaking into multiple homes and backyards as he ran from Santa Rosa County deputies, 5 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon. He had broken into at least 4 homes in the Santa Villa neighborhood. Active warrants out for his arrest. Was committing felonies in the act of, the cops show up. He didn't want to be caught. Jumping fences, breaking into houses. They corner him in a home. They got him, that little son of a pup. We got him now, right? Deputies catch him into a bedroom, into a home he broke into. But he jumped out the window and continued running. But he ended up getting caught. He had active warrants for violation of probation, aggravated assault, and more. One homeowner shot at him during this burglary spree, but missed. Now, Sheriff Johnson said, we encourage homeowners to use lethal force during break-ins to save us money.
Mm-hmm. That's what it comes down to.
He goes on to say, we don't know which homeowner shot at him. I guess they think they did something wrong, which they did not. If somebody's breaking into your house, you're more than welcome to shoot them in Santa Rosa County, and we prefer that you actually do. Whoever that was, you're not in trouble. Come see us. We have a gun safety class we put on every other Saturday. If you take that, you'll shoot a lot better, and hopefully you'll save taxpayers money.
Everybody wins, right?
And now if you think that's a little harsh, you're wrong. Okay? Picture this. Philip Marsh at work Wednesday afternoon gets a call from his wife, terrified. His daughter's playing in the backyard, sees commotion. Something tells her, go in the house. She gets in the house, closes the door. Mom locks the door because the daughter says there's something weird going on. This guy's now trying to get into their home. Cops show up. Shoot them. Mothers, teach your children not to be criminals. That way they won't get shot in the face when they break into someone's home.
And mothers.
She locked the door just in time as he got to the door and started pulling on it to get in. They made eye contact. The mother And the bad guy making eye contact, he's smiling at the wife through the window, trying to make it seem like he's reassuring her it's okay to let him in. She did not. He ran, cops caught him. So when you say, wait a minute, Sapphire, don't go shooting everybody for breaking in, but when it happens to your house and it's your daughter who just barely escaped all this trouble, because now you potentially have a hostage, right?
Sure.
So, I don't disagree, and I don't have a problem with the sheriff saying that. What I do have a problem with, if anybody comes back and says, well, that sheriff's out of line. No, you're out of line for raising your kid to be a criminal.
Yeah, breaking into somebody else's house is the one that's out of line.
100%.
You seem to be a bit confused if you think otherwise.
Mm-hmm. You got to be on some bad weed.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I know mine. I'm done with lawbreakers getting the better hand.
No, I'm sick of it. It's the world's twisted the wrong way here, and needs some fixing.
we found the world's worst weed. Paraguayo.
Paraguay.
Now, you got to go all the way to Agarito, Paraguay. I don't even know where that is. But it's kind of cute here, the stereotypical approach to this article. Juan hacked a marijuana plant with a machete, carried it to a black tart, began pulling off the flowers as fast as he could. The plants had been sprayed with agrochemicals repeatedly over the month prior to kill insects that infest his family's fields. Then he left the buds drying in the sun between intermittent rain showers before they be bundled up and sold for next to nothing. These are the first steps toward harvesting and preparing some of the worst weed in the world. Juan and his family, this is the cute part. Irony, cute. It's not offensive because they're Latino. Juan and his family, who asked that their real names not be used, cultivate 6 hectares of clandestine marijuana plants in rural Paraguay, the landlocked nation that is believed to be the 3rd or 4th largest cannabis producing nation on earth, and the top producer in the Southern Hemisphere. What was cute about it is they asked them not to use their real name. So in order to hide who they were, they go with Juan.
All right. Well,
Why not
Juan...
Steven? Why not Amber?
Well, I imagine maybe in Paraguay, Juan is a more common name like John. You know, I mean,
Could
pick
be.
whatever name you want, I guess.
So the so-called Paraguayo brickweed sold around South America at dirt cheap prices and widely considered some of the worst, lowest quality cannabis in the world. Well, haphazard production, peculiar smuggling containers, a lot of different things lead into this. It's not even good for you. Mm-hmm. The plants are pressed using machines made of metal or wood. They're dirty. Right. The plant is often wet or mixed with marmalade or Coca-Cola, knockoffs, not your name brand, to help it stick together. This causes bacteria and fungi to fester inside the packaged brick of marijuana. The gangs who press the weed also regularly leave the seeds inside, which, after being compressed, release a urine type smell into the marijuana.
Ew.
But now you got to add the toxins that are sprayed on the plants. Other chemicals are also found inside this pressed weed.
Okay. That
Now,
makes sense.
It coincides with something else, right? The agrochemical industry that runs rampant through Paraguay's country, where they really don't have laws about regulating what pollutants and chemicals can be used in their products.
Right.
So that gets added to it. So you don't even know what you're smoking or eating.
Right.
It's different every time you buy it. Like in America, if you're in a state that it's legal, you go get Gorilla Glue. You get the same strand, the same thing. It tastes the same. It looks the same every time. Like going to your local grocery store and getting a cut of meat. It's the same, little different, but it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
This weed, different every time you buy it. Nearly impossible to know what's inside of it. And it is not healthy. It's actually bad for you, worse than any other weeds. Uh-oh. Stop that. Put that back. We're not doing birthdays yet. Calm your tits.
Settle down.
Each toke burns slightly more than the last one. But even with the unpleasurable experience of smoking the worst weed in the world and the wave of nausea that comes and goes right afterwards, the high is very potent. It lived up to its reputation, uneven and gross. But packed a wallop without even knowing the content of the THC or the chemicals giving you that high. It might not even have been the weed itself. It might have been the bleach mix or something.
Mm-hmm. Very possible. Bleach is not a good thing in your weed.
Now, Juan don't know a lot about weed. In fact, he doesn't know much about weed at all, even though he grows it outdoors. He goes, I know it's an outdoor crop. I've spent half of my life dedicated to the trade, but I don't smoke it because it makes you crazy and confused.
I thought that was the point.
That was the purpose, right?
Right. I thought that's what we wanted.
Unbelievable. Oh,
well,
goodness.
maybe that weed isn't for everyone, but there are others that would love to partake, I'm sure. Yeah, let me have a hit of that crazy and confused.
Oh my God. And I know the DEA is going, oh no, tell us more. Tell us more. We want to hear more about Juan
That's right.
and his amateur pot growing business. It grows outdoors, people.
Crazy.
And the more we see the money making from it, the more we enjoy it in America. Because there's a lot of money to be made, baby.
Gotta like it.
Hey, we love to be high. We talk about that a lot. Drinking, drugs, we love it. All right. Are we doing birthdays today, Bob?
You know what? Birthdays are the one thing I was having trouble pulling up. I got word of the day here. I've also got our national days. Today's National Hug a Plumber Day. Did you know that?
Oh, hug a plumber in his crack day. Yeah, happy birthday if you're celebrating today. We're not doing that.
We would, but I don't know. There seems to be technical issues in abundance here this morning.
That's all right. I could find him if I wanted to, but we're good.
Yeah. Hug a Plumber Day. I'm trying to think. I know. Well, I'd hug our plumber.
Well,
he's a pretty huggable dude.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is when, not in the middle of a job.
Yeah.
Plumbers are one of those, you never know who they are. You don't appreciate it till you need one.
Uh-huh.
And then you go, oh, and then you want top discount. I want $300 worth of work. I only want to pay $50 for it. And if that's okay, I would like to pay 20 of those in returnable bottles.
and take the other out on trade.
Here, pound on my partner for a little bit.
That's right. Here.
Yeah, people. That's what we do now. Swingers, we pay it off in trade. And the partner's going, wait a minute, but don't I have a say in this?
You can speak when we're done.
And the guys are like, if I could be so lucky.
Right?
It's never that. It's always the guy wanting to loan out the girl. The girl's never loaning out the guy.
Right.
Or not very often.
Not too often.
All right, what's your word of the day?
Word of the day today. Come back here. It's rictus. Rictus. Shut your rictus.
What's that mean?
It's your gaping mouth or your orifice. Your rictus. Not
Does it connect to the cloaca in any way, shape, or form?
Well, maybe your cloaca is a rictus. I don't know.
Yes, could be.
Orifice. Who are you calling an orifice? Yep. That's the word of the day. It's what popped up.
Just the number 69 comes to mind for some reason.
The word gaping mouth, or the phrase gaping mouth, I mean, it just kind of cracks me up.
Any gaping hole is an attractive word.
Gaping just leaves you wide open to, so to speak. Bump.
Oh, fill your gaping cloaca. My love tunnel.
With bubble gum.
Oh, my God. And then you blow in bubbles. And if you blew a perfect bubble and it floated in the air and it popped, would it smell?
I don't know.
How long does stinky gas smell?
Does it ever really go away, or does it just drift on?
Particles dissipate, but we're going to have to, let's see. We need someone to come in and fart in a condom, and then we'll tie the condom, let it sit for an hour, and then pop it and smell it and see what happens. Now, if anybody wants to take a video of that, you can send it in, and we would love to show it for you.
I say you're gonna have to go do that on your own time. I don't think they want that going on in the studio right now.
Well, there's nobody here but me this morning, so you just got to do it before 10 a.m.
Yeah.
You come in here with a balloon or a condom. If you can't afford one, we'll provide it for you. We'll get you to come in, or you can do it on video. You got to fart in the balloon and capture it, tie it off, let it linger for a few, and then pop the balloon and see what happens.
How do you actually get the gas in the balloon, though? I mean, you got to obviously put the balloon in a place, but is it going to go in there, or is it just the balloon?
No, it's well, you stick a straw in your butt.
Well, I was going to say you need a fart funnel or something.
Yeah, a fart funnel, perfect.
Yeah.
Who sells them? We need a fart funnel. Anybody got one?
Janet's closet.
Janet's closet, ball gags and fart funnels. On sale now. Then when you're done with the fart funnel, all you got to do is pour water in it, and it becomes an enema machine.
See, multi-purpose.
A neti pot for your butthole.
Well, yes, it's got to breathe. It's got to breathe too, right?
Hey, buttholes have rights.
They're the first ones to let us know too.
Oh yeah. My goodness. Well, that's one way to end the show.
We've lost our dang minds here.
Oh my goodness. All right, that does it for us, I believe, today.
Out the door.
Any last words for our dear audience before we leave them?
Well, our words for the afternoon are Mexican Monday.
Oh, that's right.
Woo!
Are you going to be there today?
I have every intention and no reason that I can see not to. As long as I get a nap in about the next 10 minutes, I start sleeping, I'll be good.
Well, there you go, nighty-night.
Yeah. Wakey in time for some good old Mexican delish.
Absolutely. Adam's Apple, last Monday of every month.
Come join us.
Is Mexican Monday. They call it
right.
Mexican Fiesta. But there's a restaurant called that too, so we don't want to confuse you.
Trademarks.
So, all right, that does it for us. Thank you for letting us in your house, car, or wherever you were listening today. And remember, opinions are a dime a dozen. Validation is for parking, and loyalty is not a word. It's a lifestyle. Life is too short to put your key to happiness in someone else's pocket. And in a world where we can be anything, be kind. We have no idea what a kind word or a friendly smile can do to impact someone's day, maybe even change their life forever.
Amen.
Until Wednesday morning, I'm Sapphire.
I am just Bob.
We're out of here. Have a good day. See ya. Bye-bye. All righty. End broadcast. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.